Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. This is Miss Brianne, and welcome to another exciting program for teens and tweens from the Westhampton Free Virtual Library. Now, this is a different setting than what you're usually used to with my programs, but this is going to be a program I'm filming from my home because we don't have a stove at the library. But anyway, I am here today to teach you how to make a yummy dessert that you can eat yourself if you like, or share it with your family or friends, and maybe even have something to bring for a special family gathering. Does that sound like fun, boys and girls? And this is very simple to make. You just need ingredients and plenty of patience. Sorry about that. That's my phone. If it's a little loud, I apologize. But today I'm going to teach you how to make a great dessert. And that is butterscotch fudge. Now, this is a very simple recipe. It's a modified version of a recipe I found in verybestbaking.com. I've actually reduced the recipe in half today for the purposes of this program. But if you want to see the full recipe, please click on the link in the on the website link in the video description. But now, you should have gotten a kit with your program if you registered, and in your kit you will find marshmallows and butterscotch chips. And this is enough for one batch of, for the batch of the fudge. Give me 1 second. However, in addition to those two things in your kits, you also need to have the following supplies with you. 1 8-inch cake pan, square cake pan, tin foil, preferably non-stick, butter, butter, vanilla extract, sugar, oh, give me 1 minute again, salt, table salt, evaporated milk, a 1 cup solid measuring cup, a 3/4 cup solid measuring cup, 1 liquid measuring cup, an 1/8 teaspoon measuring spoon, and finally, a 1/2 teaspoon measuring spoon. Also, you're going to need access to a stove, a saucepan like this, and something to stir the pan with. It can either be a spoon, but preferably I like to use a spatula. You can stir more of the ingredients that way. Now, before I demonstrate how to make this fudge, it is strongly recommended that you have a parent or adult with you to supervise this project, because it will be used. So adult supervision is required, strongly required. Alright, with that out of the way, what do we say? You ready to make the fudge? Okay, here we go. So what you do is you take your tin foil and you line your 8-inch cake pan with the tin foil. Now, regular foil is just fine. Preferably, I like to use the non-stick foil. If you have non-stick foil and you would like to use it, make sure it says non-stick side when facing you when you line your cake pan. Alright, now that that's out of the way, sorry about that. Alright, so here is the first thing we are going to do. We are going to take our evaporated milk. Just going to open this. So we're taking our evaporated milk. We are going to measure 1/3 of a cup. There we go. So we have 1/3 of a cup of evaporated milk, and we are going to pour it in our saucepan. Next, we're going to take 3/4 of a cup of sugar. So there we go. We have 3/4 of a cup of sugar right here, and we are going to pour it in our saucepan. All right. Next, hold on one second. Next, we are going to take 1/8 of a teaspoon of salt. So you can see right here, here's your 1/8 teaspoon of salt, and we're going to put it in the saucepan. Then we're going to take 1 tablespoon of butter. Let me double check that. Yes, 1 tablespoon of butter. Now, as you can see, these, if you have a stick of butter, here are these little lines. Or if you use tub butter, you can use one of your solid measuring tablespoon. But there's lines here that goes by tablespoon. So have an adult help you with this. To measure out a tablespoon, you're going to take a knife and you're going to cut along the line. So I have 1 tablespoon of butter here, right in the saucepan. Now, you're going to take your spatula and you're just going to combine it a little bit. Just to make sure it's all incorporated. So, here is what your mixture should look like. Doesn't look like much, huh? Alright. So, with that being said, once your mixture is ready, you're going to turn on your stove. And you're going to do like a lowish heat, like low medium heat. You don't want to have it too high, you don't want to burn the mixture. And then you're going to take your spatula and you're going to start stirring. So you're just going to and you have to watch this the whole time, boys and girls. So you just keep stirring. If you leave it for a second, it will burn. And we don't want that to happen. If it burns and sticks to the pot, It's very hard removing it. So you just slowly stir. Now as you can see, it's starting to come together a little bit. There you go. Don't know if you can really see that. I don't want to leave it off the heat for too long. And this is the hardest part of the whole thing, cooking the base, because this is the base of your fudge here. Don't know if I can, not really sure if I can raise this to zoom in a little bit more, but let me move the camera. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing here. There we go. And every now and again I check to see if it's boiling. I may turn up the heat just a little bit. But you just keep stirring. And as you can see, the butter is gradually melting. Hold on. There we go. Sorry, I'm just trying to keep it in an angle and stir the pot at the same time. But the butter is slowly melting. And eventually it's going to start to boil. There we go. It looks like it's, yeah, once the butter completely melts, then it's going to start to boil. There we go. Just trying to make sure you see that, boys and girls. Alright, let's see what's going on with this. Yeah, it's slowly starting to come to a boil now. Get some of this, scrape those sides. It looks like it's at a weird angle. I'm trying to keep out of the view because usually I'm hovering over this pot. And it's gradually starting to boil. Hold on for 2 seconds. Alright, so I'm going to turn down the heat a little bit. And then I'm going to start to stir again. So you can see it's starting to boil. Let's see if it's boiling fully. There we go. It's starting to boil fully now. So once it starts to boil fully, you're just going to keep stirring. And keep an eye on the time because you're going to keep stirring for 5 minutes. So you're going to keep stirring for 5 whole minutes. And you see how the solution rose as soon as it started to boil? So just keep stirring your pot so nothing sticks to the sides of it. And make sure you keep an eye on the time. Track the time it started to boil and then wait 5 and keep stirring for 5 minutes after that time. Now, like I said, this is the most tedious part of the whole fudge making process. Oops, hold on. There we go. And like I said, always make with some of this part, make sure you have an adult supervising as you're making this. And just keep stirring. Alright, 3 more minutes to go. Doing a good job, boys and girls. Make sure you scrape your sides. There we go. Sorry, that's my phone again. Forgot to put it on silent before. I apologize. And it will, the liquid base will reduce a little bit once it boils. It expands after it starts to boil, but it does reduce slightly into a thicker mixture the longer you let it boil. But that's perfectly okay. Just keep stirring. Make sure nothing sticks to your pot. I am using a non-stick pot, but sometimes even that gets a little tricky. This is not going to make that much fudge. It is only a half a portion. Like I said, you can view the full portion on the website link in the video description where the recipe came from. Just keep stirring. 1 more minute. You're doing a good job, boys and girls. Alright, so it's been 5 minutes since this started to boil. So, just going to put the camera back. Hold on. And turn off the heat. Now, you got to do this next part extremely quickly. So, the next thing you're going to do really quick, and I suggest you do this in advance. So the first thing you're going to do is, and do this in this order, take 1 cup of mini marshmallows and stick them in the pot. Then, you're going to take your thing of butterscotch chips and you're going to throw those in the pot. Then finally, oops, and this is really important, do not add the vanilla first, because I did that once and it was very unpleasant. You're going to take a half a teaspoon of vanilla and stick it in the pot. Then you're going to take your spatula or your stirring spoon and just as vigorously as you can mix everything together. Oh, and one more thing. I forgot, this is completely optional. If you want to use chopped nuts, like peanuts or walnuts in your fudge, you can certainly do so. But I don't like putting walnuts or peanuts in my fudge. And you're just going to mix this as vigorously as you can until everything is incorporated. As you can see right here, there's your fudge base. It looks like everything's incorporated now. So, what you're going to do, let me move this to the next. You're going to take your fully lined cake pan and you're going to pour your fudge into the cake pan. Spread it with your spatula to make sure it covers the whole pan. And you could probably, if you're doing this along with me, you can notice why I said do this quickly, because it hardens up pretty fast. So, here is the base in the pan. So what you're going to do next is you're going to cover your pan up like so. And you're going to put it in the refrigerator. And you're going to leave it in the refrigerator for 2 hours. That's 2 hours. And then when you're done, after 2 hours, you can take it out and you can cut it into even pieces. Well, have an adult help you, of course. Or you can get a little creative with me, like me, because I can't cut evenly. And just make interesting shapes with them. But anyway, that is how you make butterscotch fudge. I certainly hope you enjoy making this. I had a lot of fun making it with you guys. And let me know what you think about the taste of it. I mean, I usually use Nestle Toll House butterscotch chips. These are a different type of butterscotch chips, so I don't know how they're going to taste. But let me know, okay? But I hope you enjoy making this. And please, if you're interested in this program, please look at the other programs that myself and the other children's and teen librarians here have to offer at the Westhampton Free Library. But until then, this is Miss Brianne saying take good care of yourselves. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next program.